There we go. Good night once again to another LimeVibe live podcast. This is your brethren, Yuri Ironman Kemp from Nassau, Bahamas. I'm going to be doing my show by myself tonight. Kim isn't going to be here tonight. She has some things she has to deal with, personal things she has to deal with. So you're just going to have me tonight for a while. So thank you for joining us again for another LimeVibe live podcast. We got a few things to talk about tonight. So just sit back and buckle up. And if you haven't done so, feed the kids, get some meat for yourself, probably pour yourself a cold drink, and sit back and let's have a chat tonight, okay? So yeah, don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. Our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. And also in the description, there is the donate link, or the link that you can donate to the show. So if you could just click that link and say anything to us that you wish, anything that moves your heart to give to the LimeVibe Live podcast, we will appreciate it. Okay, so that's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, there we go, my friends. So how you guys doing today? You guys had a good day? My day started off okay, but then it went downhill pretty badly. I have car problems again. My goodness, man. Anyone of you guys ever had AC compressor problems? When your air conditioning compressor is gone, it seizes up the entire car and you can't start up. Once that's gone and that's frozen out, you have to take that entire compressor out and you have to go to an AC a specialist, and you put in a new air conditioning compressor, and that's going to cost you at least about $400 or $500, maybe even $700, because we have to import these compressors in here. So to buy a compressor probably costs over $450 US dollars, right? And due to labor, it's probably going to cost you another about $100. So you're looking at about $600 right easily. So yeah, and plus I had to pay for the tow truck to get the car from where it cut off at to put it somewhere. So yeah, that's been how things have been going with me. So yeah, it was a rough day, and I had a crappy seminar today I had to go to, some cybersecurity seminar. There's one of those seminars where people spoke and they said absolutely nothing. That's a bunch of hand clapping and back slapping and platitudes. And the person who was supposed to know something, the person who was supposed to be in charge of the whole thing, supposed to be the expert, she spoke in broken sentences. You know, it sounded nice. She's very, very lighthearted. You know, she was very sweet, very engaging personality. When you really boil down the text and you look back at what she said and you re-listen to it, you realize she didn't say anything that was meaningful. Not a bloody thing was meaningful. And you can't tell these people that they're not saying anything worth a damn, you know. You can't let them know they're not as hot as what their daddy or their mommy tell them they are. But really, they have nothing, offering nothing. But they're getting all the awards and they're getting all the backslaps and the platitudes. But hey, that's life. I guess I hope it's not the same over the rest of the world. I hope it's not the same in the United States or Europe and develop really sensible countries, right? Because I would hate to think that these things happen. You can't build a country like this, man. How the hell can you get up and speak for 20 minutes, half an hour, and say absolutely nothing? And what you did say, or what you came close to saying, you're saying that it's still in the concept phase. That makes any sense? Does that make any sense? For you to get up there and say, oh yeah, we're doing this and that and the third, right? But then it's still in the concept phase. We haven't actually started yet. But we're doing that, but we haven't actually started anything yet. Does that make any sense to you? That makes no sense, man. You know, and I know you guys, when you go to your offices, you deal with these kind of people, just talk, a bunch of talks. There's a bunch of talk. Like me, like Kim and I was arguing on Monday night. Well, people have a bunch of talks, you know, everything is a bunch of talks. There's nothing concrete that they've actually done. You can actually put your finger on and say, hey, you've gotten this from point A to point B to point C to point D. You know, just a bunch of talks, just talks. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. I have a colleague in the media. She's been sick and tired of this, man. You know, she is absolutely turned off. Nothing moves her. She's totally cold and hard. It comes down to these meaningless seminars and these meaningless press conferences. These people say absolutely nothing. That has to be a skill. That has to be a skill to get up at a press conference and say absolutely nothing for half hour, 45 minutes. That has to be a skill. And I think it's intentional because no way people could be that vapid. No reason, no way they could be that dense. Okay, but anyway, let's leave them alone. So that was my day today. A boring press conference, a boring seminar, and then my car had issues. Hopefully I can get it sorted out. Man, my goodness, but that really ticked me off because I had to pay for a record, man. That ticked me off. But, you know, I started off at the gym this morning as I normally do. You know, I got my few miles on the treadmill and the Stairmaster. I did lift some weights. Today was chest day. I did my, my bench presses. I did my chest work. I do leg work every day. Okay, I do legs every day. I do a different type of legs. Like tomorrow I'll do hamstrings and calves. The day I did my squats and my leg lifts. Okay, I do legs every day. So I'll be looking like one of those fellas who's big on top and small on the bottom. I have nice legs, man. You can't see because the camera's only here, right? And I want you to look me in my face. Don't look at my body. Look at my sexy body. Yeah. So yeah, that's how my day started. It started pretty well, but I knew the compressor was going to go bad because it started to smoke from yesterday actually. And I knew I had cars previously where this happened, but the compressor went bad, the air conditioning compressor went bad, and you had to go get it changed. So I know that this was going to come to, and I just was hoping I could get to the mechanic in time, which is going to be this evening actually. But I guess God said, no, I'm going to cut off from you right now. You're not going to get anything right now. You're going to take this to the mechanic right now. So that's where it is. So how are you guys doing today, man? You can't really call it. I know I promised to fix this link where you guys could actually reach into me, call into me. I'm going to fix it from Friday. I'm going to make a note on Friday, do a recurring link with this Zoom feed. So I could put the link inside the description as well as the donate link. So you guys could actually call in and you guys could actually have a conversation with us when we're having the show. That would be nice. That'd be a nice touch. Hopefully you guys aren't freaky deaky, right? Hopefully you wouldn't have a bunch of fireworks where they could be banned off of YouTube or Facebook. There's nothing explicit. But I know how to cut you off anyway. I just have to cut your feed off. Just kick you out of the conversation or the chat, So yeah. Like I said, a few things going on in the region today. Apparently at the end of this month, they're having a Caribbean Music Awards in New York City, being hosted by Wyclef Jean, the Wyclef Jean from the Fugees, the former presidential candidate for Haiti. He's probably gearing up for another run again for Haiti, but I don't think it's going to get him any favors in Haiti because right now they need more than just Caribbean Music Awards. It's good to see you back in action, Mr. Wyclef Jean. Yeah, so they're having this Caribbean Music Awards in New York City, and they're going to honor a few people. First of all, they're going to give a Lifetime Achievement Award, an Elite Icon Humanitarian Award, a Producer's Honor, Calypso Honors, Entertainer of the Year, and Social Media Personality and Compo Honors. Wow, that's cool. Apparently, Michelle Montano from Trinidad and Tobago, Michelle Montano will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from these Caribbean Music Awards. Paris Samuel will receive the Elite Icon Award, and Buju Banton will receive the Humanitarian Award. Buju Banton will receive the Humanitarian Award. Can you figure that? Okay. Yeah, so it promises to be good. The organizers, this Caribbean Elite group, all right. One of the members of their team, this Dane Taylor gentleman or lady, I'm not sure because I don't see his picture, said that they started the magazine. They have a magazine as well. They started their magazine about 4 years ago. And during that journey, we realized the lack of representation on the international stage for our artists. So he felt the need to create a platform that gives Caribbean artists their flowers and highlights them on a global level and just show the world how powerful our music and culture is. Yes, that's the way to go, Mr. Taylor. That's the way to go, because that's what we're doing. See, but they're doing that for the established artists, and that's fine. I guess that's what people want to see, But we try to help the budding artists here in the Caribbean. That's what we do through our music and song companies, Tropic Spin. We just launched that on July 22nd. It was a very successful event. It was better than the first one. So we're inching up and building it up as we go along. We want to find the next Rihanna or the next Coffee. Now, we're really serious about that. We're really serious about it. So while we understand you have to give the Michelle Montanos and the Barris Hounds their flowers now, and they have really made it over the hump, we need to find the next group of artists and talent, man, because we have to keep on regenerating the Caribbean. We just can't keep on beating the same old guys over and over again. So that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do with everything with our magazine, Caribbean Magazine Plus. We highlight poets, we highlight short story writers, we highlight musicians. And so we're looking at the whole wide range of talent. But this Caribbean Music Awards, this promises to be fun. Okay. Who else? They're going to have performances by Ding Dong. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's promising to be fun. All right, Caribbean Music Awards. Okay. Other presenters for the night include Spice, Tony Ann Singh, Kabaka Pyramid, and Chrissy. And there'll be performances by Leela Ike, Nayla Blackman, Allison Hines, I haven't heard from her in a while, Kai, along with Ding Dong Ravers. Okay. The Ding Dong Ravers. That's cool. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's going to be in New York City on August 31st, the end of this month. They don't say if they have any live showing. I guess it should be live. They don't say if it's live. Let's go to their website to see if they're going to be streaming it, or they're going to be on some kind of television channel. Let's see what they got to say. Doesn't say, oh, it's going to be at the King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York. So they're not going to be streaming. You got to buy tickets. You got to come there in person. That's cool. I guess that's what it is. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that, man. If you're in New York City, go to the Caribbean Music Awards at King's Hall. That would be fun. Celebrate Michelle Montano while he's still here, man. Like I said, Michelle Montano is getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, and Bearstown will receive the Elite Icon Award, and Buju Banton will receive the Humanitarian Award at this Caribbean Music Awards held by the Caribbean Elite Group. Okay, that's fine. It's more from them. They didn't pay for any advertisement here, so we can't talk about them too long, even though we talked about it enough. You know, we give them enough shine tonight. So yeah. Have you guys been following this guy called Andrew Tate? I'm a disciple now, man. I've been listening to Andrew Tate's motivational speeches, and trust me, they are on another level, man. They have me thinking of in a different way about myself as a man in particular. Now I see why the Matrix is trying to shut down Andrew Tate. You know, he always complains about the Matrix trying to shut him down. And I could see why, because he's becoming very, very incendiary. He has control over young men between the ages, I would say 12 to about 50. Because they're listening to him very intently. That's like I'm listening to him very intently. They try to shut him down off of YouTube and off social media, but he still keeps popping back up in all these videos because people just keep on re-streaming him and just keep on getting his videos up. But they've done so, but I don't know how they're doing it. So he can't be really banned from YouTube and social media, because remember what they did to Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist Alex Jones? They did away with him, and you can't even find videos of Alex Jones anymore on YouTube. And but even though Alex Jones has started popping back up on other people's platforms as well, I've seen him pop up inch by inch now, Alex Jones. But you can't be that banned if you're still popping up on YouTube. All right. Yeah, so I'm a follower of Andrew Tate, man. You know, his motivational speech, just research, that's Andrew Tate on YouTube. And Andrew Tate motivational speech. And trust me, you will see why a lot of young men have been gravitating towards, you know, with the things he has to say, the positive things he has to say. And he's a devout Muslim, so he says. And I'm a Christian, but I don't mind. You know, a powerful word is a powerful word. Given at the right time, is really good. It soothes the soul. You know, so yeah, look at Andrew Tate, man. He was just arrested recently in Romania for human trafficking. They didn't have any charges, so they had to let him go. He was in there for about 90 days. Let him in a Romanian jail. So they were trying to get at him for at least about a year now, and they finally put him away. Well, only for 90 days. He's been released now for about 2 or 3 days. No, 2 or 3 weeks actually. And just 2 days ago rather, he did a show with his brother, because his brother was locked up with him in the Romanian jail as well. So he did a show with his brother, and they did a show in this mock jail where they simulated their stint in jail. Okay, so they tried to kill the man, and he came out even stronger than ever. This goes to show you, when God has his hand on you, there's nothing anybody could do about you, man. There's nothing anybody could do about you once God has his hand on you. You know, they could try to kill him and take him out of the Matrix, and the Matrix out to destroy him. All that conspiracy stuff. I don't go that far with him, right? But yeah, I don't go that far with all that conspiracy stuff. You know, but I guess, you know, it is what it is. In other news too, I shouldn't move on to this right now. Let's get back to that. We're going to talk about that later. So yeah, I'm getting more involved in this manosphere situation, right? This manosphere blogging on the social media, Reddit and YouTube. I'm really trying to find myself as a man. You know, I'm really getting involved in this now. I'm listening to this very intently. You know, it's becoming a part of me now. You know, I'm starting to move up, and I'm trying to understand exactly what it takes out here. How do we cut it out here? You know, I'm starting to see what it takes, you know, and really put myself in a good mind frame. Don't mind this what do you call it? This podcast. I'm going through a midlife crisis. So I started this up because I seen everybody else doing it, and I have something to say. I believe I have something to say. So I bought my own microphone, my own camera, and show you exactly what I have to say. And I hope you guys can really stay tuned with me and continue on with me in this journey as I, you know, weave my way through the podcast, as I get involved in the manosphere. Hopefully I can kick off one day as well, like Andrew Tate, or like any other podcaster, like even like Alex Jones before they really put him down, right? So we'll see how this thing goes. Yeah, but I always felt that there's always been an attack on the heterosexual man, especially over the last 10, 15 years or so. there's a blatant attack on, especially on the young black man. There's been a blatant attack. The devil is after us in a big way, or the system is after us in a big way. They can't bear to see a young, strong black man step forward and have confidence and class and pride. They can't stand that. For some reason that sickens them, you know. And these modern women who are getting up on the stage as well, they're not seeing that, you know. So they're bitter now. They can't find good mates because the system they're a part of is being on the same mates that they want. All right. But they're not seeing that though. They're so busy into themselves until it's too late, till they got to really look around and say, hold on, wait, hold on. We've been a part of the system that's been beating down these young black men. Now we want a young black man who's going to help us. If they're sensible, if they're not all out lesbian, right? Or if they don't want to live alone for the rest of their life with their cats, right? So we have to make them understand that, hey, while you're a part of the system right now, you just can't continually be a part of the destructive part of the system. You have to build everybody up. And I think I think most sensible men will join you in the fight for taking down the system. So we're not your enemy. I haven't been an enemy of one for all my life. I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally if you want to make a more equitable system, because I have been on the bottom rung. I'm just not putting myself up. So I've been on that bottom rung as well. So it's not just, I'm not your enemy. So you could find an ally with a lot of young black men in particular if you're looking to make a go out in the rest of your life. So don't look at us as your competition. We actually could help each other. And that's very, very, very truthful and honest with you, man. But you don't see it that way. Most young black women in particular, they are extremely selfish and self-centered. They think about only what they want to do and only what they see they can do. And I don't tell me I'm wrong, because I see it. I live this every day. I interact with these people. They are so, while they're not as sociopathic and destructive as the young black man, the under-socialized young black man, trust me, women are under-socialized as well. Some of these young black women are under-socialized as well, okay? And because they're not out here shooting and robbing and raping and having physical manifestations of dysfunction, they are dysfunctional as well. And I see it every day. The disruptive nature, the gossiping, the idle chatter, the harassing people, you know, on a daily basis. I see that on a daily basis. There's no training. There's no, who raised these people? Who raised these young men, these young women? Who raised these people? Who raised you? You know, I see it every day. I don't want to sound like the old crotchety old man now, getting in my age, where I'm looking at these young people with my glasses like this, right? I don't want to be like that, right? But still, I see it every day. There's no training. There's no humility. You know, there's no training. There's no class. There's no culture. They're uncultured. They're uncivilized. So while the young black man has the manifestations of being violent and being out there in the streets, these young women are just as destructive and just as unruly and just as uncultured and classless. They're just not out here shooting people and killing people on a daily basis. Yeah, I'm getting a point that I shouldn't go that deep into this thing, but I've seen it every day. I walk the streets every day. I see it. And this is something that we need to deal with. We need to deal with this, man, because we can't let another generation go down where we don't have this kind of where we have improperly trained young people going into the next generation. We can't have that. We can't have that. You know, I bumped into a young lady yesterday going inside the store. She bumped straight past me and started to yap with the cashier. First of all, she bumped past me, right? Then she held up the line talking to the cashier. Like, people aren't in a rush. And people don't have something else to do. Miss, we have things to do, you know. You just can't hold up the line, bump in front of people, and then take your sweet time to get out of the way and to get out of the store. That's not what we do. So while she didn't punch me in my face, and she didn't rob me of my money, and she didn't take anything from me, still she was being a nuisance. She was a bloody nuisance. And that's as nice as I could put it, you know, a bloody nuisance. Okay? So we have to look out for that, man. We have to train our young people better, you know. I don't have any kids. I'm looking for kids, but still, you know, we have to be more civil towards one another. But I see some of these people, and I see some of their parents, and some of their parents know better. So this is clearly is being passed down. So I'm getting a look again to my producer. Let's change that topic because they're having an issue with this topic. See, and see, my producer is a woman as well, so she's having a problem with this topic. And because I'm telling the truth, that's what's happening. I'm telling the truth. I'm a part of this manifest now. I'm telling the truth. Why can't I sit here and tell the truth? What am I? Why can't I be honest with you? Let's change the topic anyway, because that's kind of boring. That's something we need to talk about when we have a few cool red stripes, a few cool collects under our belt. We can really have a good, hearty discussion about all what's wrong with society and male and female dynamics in relationships, right? We can have a whole discussion. I could talk all night about that, but I don't want to kill this podcast about that. But other news as well too. Apparently, the Caribbean Export Development Agency, they're going to have their second Caribbean Investment Forum here in the Bahamas on August 21st. No, August 23rd to August 25th. So they're going to come here to the Bahamas. They did the first one last year in Trinidad and Tobago, which was pretty good. We covered that in the Caribbean Magazine Plus. So they're going to come back again, and they're going to invite a bunch of investors to talk about what's the next step for investing in the Caribbean. And we wish them all the best. It can't hurt. It can't hurt to get investors in the room who's willing to partner with governments and other private sector agents on viable projects that can actually push the Caribbean forward. It can't hurt. So anything that's going to push the Caribbean agenda forward, we're all for it. Like I said, it's going to be August 23rd to October 23rd to 25th at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. Okay. And the DPM, Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Chester Cooper, said, the Bahamas is honored to host the Caribbean Investment Forum, the region's premier investment conference, when we, nations of the Caribbean, seek to leverage our investment opportunities to strengthen our economies. Yes, it is. He continues, for the Bahamas, this forum is a singular opportunity to showcase a myriad of investment opportunities that are available across the 16 island destination, across sectors from tourism to agriculture to renewable energy and wellness and digital. Yes, all these things are open. So we would like to invite all these investors who are interested in any of these sectors, whether it be agriculture, tourism, renewable energy, health and wellness, or the digital economy. Please come in. And that goes for the rest of the Caribbean as well, because all the Caribbean islands are invited here. It's not just for us, it's for the Caribbean. So hopefully a lot of Caribbeans give us the support that highly supported back in Trinidad last year, and we're looking forward to that. I talked to the CEDA's, the Caribbean Export Development Agency's executive director, Deodat Maharaj. Talked to him several different times, right? He's a very engaging man, very honest and straightforward. Now, some of his other people who work there may be a different story, right? But yeah, he's a very straight shooter. He's a very calm and peaceful man as well. And he had said at last year's Caribbean Investment Forum that he was coming to the Bahamas very, very soon. And we didn't think that was going to be the very following year, but here we are, October 23rd and 25th. They're going to have the Caribbean Investment Forum here, and you could not have it at a better place than the Atlantis Paradise Island, and you couldn't have it at a better resort. It's a premier destination, premier hotel in the Caribbean, at the Atlantis Paradise Island. The only thing that rivals the Atlantis Paradise Island is the Bahama resort on the Bahamian Riviera out west. Actually, personally, I think the Bahama is a lot better, but the Bahamas is much nicer. It's much newer as well. But, if they want to go to Atlantis, that's fine. Atlantis is a good consolation. Yeah, it's good to have them there. So, yeah, the Caribbean Investment Forum is going to come in. It's coming to the Bahamas. I can't wait to see all the people that's going to come in and hit these shores and see how business is actually done, how people actually matchmake and get involved. That's going to be very interesting, man. You see all the dignitaries and all the private sector companies and come over here and talk shop. We're going to see the big high rollers come over here, man. That's good. All right. So that's for that. The Caribbean Investment Forum, October 23rd to the 25th, hosted by the Caribbean Export Development Agency. That's going to be good. Otherwise than that, anyone following this Trump indictment, the Trump series of indictments, apparently he has 4 indictments now, 2 federal indictments and 2 state indictments. He's indicted on June 23rd in a federal indictment related to classified government documents, in which he faces 40 criminal counts of alleging a mishandling of sensitive documents and conspiracy to obstruct the government in retrieving these documents. The trial has been scheduled for May 2024 next year. And a second federal indictment was in August. It was a federal indictment related to attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election, in which Trump faces 4 criminal counts of conspiring to defraud the government and disenfranchise voters and corruptly obstructing an official proceeding. This trial is not yet scheduled. I don't think Mr. Trump realizes how much trouble he's in with this, because this is going to bleed into next year. Next year, it's going to run right into the next presidential election. He can't really run with these indictments over his head. And what if he wins and these indictments, what is it going to say to the U.S. government's judicial system that he won and he was able to make all these cases disappear? It's going to be a sham government. We're going to think that the United States is a clown government if he was able to win and he would be able to make these charges go away and disappear. That would be strange, man. I don't think Mr. Trump would want to win under these circumstances. You know, even though I like Trump personally, I would have probably voted for him. You know, but I don't think he would want to go this route. It's just not a good look for America. And you have to think of America before yourself too. You know, you have to think of your country before yourself. Now, does your ego and your pride really put you in a position where you're going to make the United States look even worse in the public eye? It's really losing stature now. They're already, you know, losing out a lot of ground in terms of diplomacy to China and the European Union. And now you're going to go through this so people can see all your dirty laundry in public. I don't think it's the right approach, man. You should leave it alone. And his former vice president, Mike Pence, came out and said that for one of the state indictments. Well, first of all, let me read the other two state indictments. The state indictments are those two are the federal indictments. Now, the state indictments now is March 2023 indictment in New York, the state of New York, in which Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree related to payments made to Stormy Daniels. Remember the Stormy Daniels saga? You know, the former porn star he had a relationship with before the 2016 presidential election. The trial was scheduled for March 2024. So that's for next year. Then the second indictment was in August, that's this month, was where in which Trump and 18 others faced 13 criminal counts related to the alleged attempts to overturn Joe Biden's victory in the state of Georgia. The trial has not yet been scheduled. So they're clearly bleeding this and dripping this out, okay? He doesn't see it yet. He thinks he's going to win. And he's there. The United States government, or the system within that's against Donald Trump, is clearly bleeding this out. And there's no way he could be a viable candidate leading into the next presidential election. He might as well stand down because unless they're just playing chicken with him, I don't think they are. I think that they could really blow this thing up. And I don't think that even the Democrats want to blow this up because all their dirty laundry is going to be exposed. I don't think they even want that because there's only so much the media can cover for all of this. You know? There's only so much the CNNs and the Fox Newses and the MSNBCs can cover up. Because in case they haven't realized, there's a whole other atmosphere of social media and independent media that's out there reporting on all this stuff who people follow. And they may not hit 1 million people on every given night, but over the space of about, let's say, 6 months, they get 100,000 views here, 20,000 views here, 10,000 views here. It all adds up, you know. And then next thing you know, the same information you were trying to hide drips out in other forms and fashions. So I don't think you want to go this route. I think the Democrats should think twice about this as well. I mean, I'm not a proponent of, you know, going after former elected officials. I'm not a big fan of that for the same reason. Because it starts to bleed over and it starts to get really, really messy and shows you that the country isn't as stable and as secure as people would think it is. Right now, we're going through our own phases here, where we're having this tit-for-tat back and forth where people are going after former politicians. The cases aren't really going in there, but just enough to embarrass them and shame them. But one day, someone's going to have the bright idea, we're going to finish this thing through. We're going to get serious about this. And that's what really frightens me, you know. And it should frighten anybody who's in public office. Just stop, you know. Just think twice about it because you're not sure who's going to be crazy enough to really put you through the ringer. You know, and yeah, it's a serious situation, man. I don't think that Donald Trump wants it. I don't think the Democrats really want this, even though they're looking at it. Maybe some people may just foolhardily, you know, continue on with these indictments, trying to get at Trump. Maybe they may, by accident, you know, get through with it. So who knows? I hope they don't. I hope someone's a bit of an adult and pulls back some of this stuff, you know, because oftentimes with the street guys, just putting it in street terms, oftentimes with the street guys, it isn't the trained hitman or the real hitman that really gets these guys off the streets, you know. It's that same stick-up punk that pulls the gun and shoots a guy accidentally and really gets some of these guys off the streets, you know. There's someone just fooling around today, say, I'm gonna get you today, I'm gonna whip up my gun, I'm gonna shoot you. By accident, they get it. They're just fooling around, just playing around. Just a stick-up kid. There's but nothing else to decide. I'm gonna get this lick off of this drug dealer today. I'm just gonna do away with him today. So it's by accident. So by accident, you may have an overzealous politician in the United States come with the wrong set of, well, I would say the right set of information about Donald Trump and really blow the whole thing out of the water. Next thing you know, everyone's been involved. And that's another thing too. Elections are so seedy around the world. I don't think Mr. Trump realized, unless he's that jaded, I don't think he's that jaded. He's been doing business since the 80s, the 70s. Everyone understands that these things are rigged to a certain extent. That's no secret. That's no secret. If elections were left up to the voters, the wrong person would win every time. Elections are too important to be left to the voters. There's a bit of rigging in every election. Now, with some places it's stark, like in these third world countries, it's bad, but you could have one person getting all the votes. That happens. But even in the United States, don't mind the America what they're saying, some of these things, they go down to people on the ground, dealing hand-to-hand combat in these little ballot boxes in these small counties, and they add up. And they all see the state isn't a state by itself. The state is made up of these small little counties, these small little townships, and all those people have their big wigs involved and in charge. And once they say what goes, they tell a little man that, hey, this county is going to do this, we're going to do that, and that snowballs up. Next thing you know, you have 10 counties in one state, all training towards one way. So there's a bit of rigging, there's a bit of hand-to-hand combat, there's a bit of horse trading that goes on every election, and that has to be understood. And I don't think Donald Trump understands that, really appreciates that people are really involved in this. Like people with their own prejudices are involved in this, all right? And so there's going to be a bit of that. So he may be blowing something out of proportion in any event, because everyone understands that. Every sensible politician understands that, that you're going in there with that mentality, that you're going there thinking that, hey, well, everyone's going to be on the up and up, You're going there thinking with that, man. But unless he's being so jaded and thinking that America is this superpower and they are above fault, then I'm sorry, he's in the wrong life. He's in the wrong universe if that's the case. Because everywhere has some sort of fault with their elections. Now they try to cover up to make you have more confidence in the system, but it's not so blatant. That's fine. But don't tell me it's not rigged and people don't get away with doing at least some level of foolery, right? Whether it's stuffing the ballot box or putting 2 extra ballots in a ballot box, or essentially disenfranchising some voters, throwing some ballots out for the opposing candidate. These things happen, Now in the United States, it could be more sophisticated, It could be more sophisticated than that. See, I don't know how to rig an election, but I understand that some things can actually go on. So I'm not going to actually sell it short. I'm just going to understand that this is a part of the game, and he should understand that as well. He's not acting like a sensible, seasoned politician and a seasoned businessman who knows that people are involved in this. I thought he would have known better than this. But apparently he doesn't. And I don't think that those seasoned politicians in Washington, D.C. want to continue on with this as well either. Because it's going to show the world that, hey, we've been running the same kind of banana republic that we beat you over the head with. We're running the same kind of banana republic that you guys in the third world have been running for the past 200 years or so. Yeah, we're just as faulty as you guys. I don't think no one really wants that. No one really wants that. So he has 4 indictments altogether for Donald Trump, 2 federal and 2 state, 1 for New York City and 1 for Georgia. So yeah, he's going to have a lot of problems. He's going to be answering charges for the next 4 or 5 years now, I think. He should just sit out and just pave the way for our guy in Florida. What's his name? Ron DeSantis. Isn't he a bright star? I'm for DeSantis all the way. Bring in Ron DeSantis. And yeah, I should have gone there, right? But yeah, I like Ron DeSantis, man. He's a good guy, But he's been having some problems in Florida. But I think it's just a bunch of smear tactics and campaigns, because don't forget, the media doesn't really like Republican candidates. So anything they can do to smear these people, they're going to do it. And everything's going to be blown up out of proportion. So you just got to be careful of that when you hear all the stuff about Ron DeSantis. So I'm already putting my guard up when I hear some of the things coming out about him. They're trying to paint him as a racist. Never has anyone said that about Ron DeSantis. None of his friends. He doesn't have a history of it. So where is this coming from? So we'll take that then. So when Mike Pence came out and said the election was not rigged, the election in Georgia was not stolen. Mike Pence has distanced himself from his former boss. He said the election in 2020 was not stolen. And he said, leaning into his role on January 6th, days after Trump's indictment for his attempts to overturn the election result, he said he wasn't trying to. Say the Georgia election was not stolen. This is Mike Pence now. The Georgia election was not stolen. And I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th, said Pence, speaking in Indianapolis at a gathering for state lawmakers of the National Conference for State Legislatures. Yeah, so he's trying to distance. He said, no one is above the law. This is Pence. No one is above the law. And the president and all those implicated are entitled to the presumption of innocence, but no one is above the law. Why are you distancing yourself from Donald Trump? You might as well go all out, but if you want to be the president of the United States, you might as well go all out. Because you can't win like this anyway. Either you support him or you're against him. It's gonna come to a time where Trump's star is going to fade, and they're gonna just continue to just beat him out and cut him up. And people are just gonna open their eyes and see that, hey, it's gonna come to a point where those same hardcore Republicans, they're gonna see that You know something? Why we like Trump, why we love Donald Trump, we don't think he has a chance of winning this next election because of all these things that are coming out about him. Now, they may not be true. There's going to come to be an opportunity cost situation, a cost benefit analysis. You know, if we continue on with Trump, he has no chance of being anybody in the Democratic Party based on all these scandals, right? So, do we want to take that chance, or do we want to go with a fresh candidate? That's where they're trying to put, you know, the average Republican voter who loves Trump, who is even thinking that Trump's a viable candidate right now. That's where they're going to put most of these Republican voters. That's dirty politics from the Democrats. Dirty politics. But that's the way it is. It's bloodthirsty, man. But now you see how much work they have to do to actually get rid of Donald Trump. That's a lot of work, you know, to organize these indictments across all these states. That's a lot of work, man. And they're really trying to make sure he doesn't come back. They're really afraid. And maybe I believe, personally, wholeheartedly, I believe that there was some truth to this thing with Donald Trump was this deep state. You know, I believe that. If I see it in my own country, in the United States, they have undersecretaries and they have secretaries and they have other directors that hold these positions, and they just work their way through the system and they become career civil servants that you can't really get rid of. It's hard to get rid of them. And it's even harder here in the Caribbean in the British system, the British Westminster system, where we have this thing called general orders. And once you're a civil servant, it's going to be like, you can't really fire a civil servant. So you could raise all the way up to the permanent secretary or director of an agency, the top of an agency, and there's nothing any government really can do with you. Okay? So I can imagine inside the United States where the bureaucracy is huge, you have these career civil servants who have their own prejudices, who are just there, you know, making things happen and making sure that the incoming president, his administration, has access to the information only what they want them to see. And it happens. That's people. That's going back and dealing with people to people again. So maybe the deep state isn't as conspiratorial as you think. Maybe it's to be a part of government dealing with people to people, you know? So that's enough about Donald Trump. But that was exciting, isn't it? It's exciting watching things play out, you know, to see America really pull itself together after that disastrous January 6th riot, you know? I'm glad to see them pulling back. I'm a fan of America. I believe in America. I believe that the world needs America. Even though they've done wrong to a lot of countries around the world needs America. Because when you look at all the other alternatives, you really don't want them. Do you want to be led by China? Do you want to be led by the European Union? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. America's our best bet. And we should stick with them at all costs. Regardless of what's been going on in that country, we need to show them our support while they go through this system and they try to deal with their situation. Okay? Let's get off of Mike Pence for a second. So that's the indictments. Yeah. America's going to get it straightened out. They're going to sort it out. You know, they just want to get Trump out of the way for this election. That's all. And I think the Republicans other Republicans who are in the race, they're just letting the Democrats just do away with this. You know, it's really helping their cause because they don't want to take Donald Trump on head to head either, because they want some of Donald Trump's support as well. You know, and maybe Donald Trump, he's not going to do it anyway, but maybe he should take the high road and say, you know, something, I don't want to go through this anymore. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to pull back. He's not going to do it because he has too much pride involved. And he really wants to get some get back. As an old New Yorker, and he wants to get that get back on people who are trying to pull him down, right? That's really what he's into right now. He's just seeing blood red right now. There's blood in his eyes. He's going to come out with blood in his eyes. Trust me, if he wins the presidential election, a lot of people are going to get turned upside down. I can assure you of that. That's the kind of dude he is. I believe that. You know? But I ran across this other article in the Council on Foreign Relations, right? Switching gears for a second now, talking about how the Caribbean is building climate resilience, okay? And they gave a few examples of what the Caribbean has been doing with regard to climate resilience. Well, let me go on to the part where it says who's been leading on some of these projects. And they say, what notable examples of governments are taking action, okay? They mentioned first and foremost, of course, they have to mention Prime Minister Mia Mottley in Barbados has developed a plan to phase out fossil fuels entirely by 2030. But so has the Bahamas. And the Bahamas isn't mentioned in this article at all. And I read this article from top to bottom. You know, the Bahamas has a 2030 plan as well. Most Caribbean countries have a 2030 plan to get rid of fossil fuels by 2030. We're not been moving forward to that in that situation, but hey, most of us have that same 2030 goal. And she's also created a national strategy, this reef system, where the program will direct public investment towards reinforcing home construction and building it for sustainable land use and making sure homes are able to withstand, hurricanes and building better homes in the event of hurricanes and storm surges. And that's the way to go. At least she's taking action. She's taking action. You know, in the Bahamas, we still haven't even updated our building codes yet. My God. And they're just going, it's just a bunch of talk. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing this bunch of talk back and forth. Like, everyone knows the building codes need to be revised. Okay, fine. Revise the building codes. Because if you had seen what we had seen with Hurricane Dorian in 2019, where an entire island looked like a nuclear bomb had hit it, Africa was absolutely destroyed. North Africa was absolutely destroyed. Central Africa was absolutely destroyed. There was an entire housing subdivision, an illegal housing subdivision, I should say, by the way, called the Mud in the Pigeon Peak. There were hundreds of homes in there. Everything was flattened. Hundreds of lives lost. They were all built in a low-lying area, and the floods came up at least about 20 feet. So, you know, a lot of people lost their lives, right? And we still don't know the full body count of that yet. So, yeah, we need to get on with it, man. So me and Molly's doing a good job with this roof system. Hopefully, we'll start to see construction moving forward in Barbados. They're going to use land use properly and going to build their homes in a more proper and sustainable way. Because I believe every home now, after we've gone through Maria and Irma and Dorian, every home in the Caribbean that's in a low-lying area should be built at least 5 feet off the ground. At least 5 feet. We don't have to put it 10 feet, at least 5 feet off the ground. This should be the new model for homes in the Caribbean. This should be the new model moving forward. Every home should be at least 5 feet off the ground. At least. I'm no engineer. I'm just talking off the top of my head, right? Like I'm an engineer to any great extent. Yeah, they also mentioned this article from the Council on Foreign Relations. They also mentioned Jamaica in 2020 became the first Caribbean country to submit an updated climate action plan. Okay, yeah, using improved irrigation systems and blah blah blah, and land use sectors and proper energy use targets. That's fine. Meanwhile, Dominica has created a new agency to position it as a world leader in climate resilience efforts by the end of the decade. In 2018, the government established a climate resilience execution agency for Dominica. Wow. You know, what does that mean? You know, a climate resilience execution agency for Dominica. That sounds like the Bahamas Department of Environmental Health, Department of Environmental Planning and Protection. That's what that sounds like to me. That's another name for environment sensitive agency, making sure that, you know, these projects and these initiatives, they meet with the best possible environmental compliance that they possibly can met with. So that's what that sounds like to me. But the thing is with Dominica, they're using their citizenship by investment program to invest in this climate resilience execution agency. That's a good use of their CBI, because my God, they only get in trouble with otherwise, you know, these other projects and by selling passports to unsavory characters and getting themselves in the news for the wrong things. All right. On a regional level, too, the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, I think that's in Belize, if I'm not mistaken. They have been moving forward as well, so this article says. You know, the people are looking at us, man. And I want to thank Neil Martin for being out there and making sure people look at us even more with regard to this climate change situation, you know. That's what we need, to have eyes on the Caribbean, so people can start spending the money properly here. You know, not no more talk. The next time a Caribbean leader comes to the people of the Caribbean, they should come with something that they've actually done. No more talks. Do something. Let's see some tangible efforts on the ground. Let's see something that you've actually done. No more talks. Leave the talking for me. All right. I get paid. This is my hobby. I get paid for doing this. And I am interested in doing this. This is what I do. Okay. You guys get paid to actually make solutions, to give us solutions and actually put some things in place. That's what you guys get paid for. I don't get paid for that. That's what you get paid for. I get paid for talking about just like this right now. You gotta drink of water. 1 second. There you go. Yeah, so you get paid for that, not me. So the Council on Foreign Relations has been watching us, man. They're also watching the lack of international support we're not getting. The lack of international support that we're getting. You know, everyone just talking, you know, like they went to COP27 and they asked for a loss and damage fund and they got the old soft shoe. All right, they got a promise that they're gonna at least think about a loss and damage fund. They haven't started it yet. At least I haven't heard of it. We would have reported it. They haven't responded to it yet. Now the United Nations is involved now, trying to make sure that this gets done. And I suppose the United States will make sure that this loss and damage fund actually gets done and set up, because the European Union could pay for this. The United States could pay for this. They could fund this on their own, you know. So why wouldn't they want to remediate some of the damages that they've actually put on the rest of us? And they come into vacation, you know. Their big wigs come into vacation in the Caribbean all the time. Some of them even have homes in the Caribbean. So you wouldn't want to protect someplace that's your own home. You guys should be lobbying more for us, you know. We haven't done you a thing. We have not done you a thing. Okay. Otherwise, that's a boring article anyway. But they haven't mentioned the Bahamas not at all. The Bahamas have been leading in regard to climate change initiatives. You know, at least leading the conversation, I should say, alongside Mia Murphy. But like I say, you know, she's actually done a few things, you know. There's not much, but she's actually done a few things. You know, the Bahamas has done relatively little next to anything besides from having a bunch of talks. There's talks, and more talks. But here's something that the Bahamas should be proud of. Bahamas men's national basketball team. You know, they are really out there making a good name of themselves, man. You know, they play Argentina tonight. Actually, the game has started from 8:10. So the game is well underway. We wish our Bahamian men's national basketball team all the best as they face Argentina. And Argentina is really strong, a real strong team as well. You know, they have international players on that squad that play in Europe. Some of them play in the NBA. Manu Ginobili should still be involved with the team, even though he may not be playing. He may be like a coach or a development specialist, development agent for the Argentina team. So yeah, we wish our men's national basketball team the best. They beat up on Cuba last night. You know, they blew past Cuba last night. So going up against Argentina tonight is a real test. I'm going to be looking out for that game. I'm going to find that game on some feed somewhere. And I'm going to, you know, see exactly how our men's national basketball team is actually looking. And these are qualifiers for the Olympics next year. Okay, this is the FIBA World Basketball Cup. This is the America's qualifiers. And we're one of the top seeded teams. I think we're ranked number 56 in the world. And we've been beating up everybody in the Caribbean for years now. I mean, we've had the best basketball team in the Caribbean for years now. It's like the dream team playing with the 1992 dream team. They came out in 1992. They beat everybody. That's how we've been beating up in the rest of the Caribbean. This doesn't come close. Doesn't come close, man. So basketball is our thing, and you know, cricket and soccer, football is the rest of those other guys' thing. We can take that. You know, we can take that. We've been Americanized. You know, we've been Americanized because we're right next door. You know, we've been Americanized. I gotta say. So yeah, look out for our men's national basketball team. We have a bunch of stars on the team as well. From what I understood, we had Michael Thompson, the brother of Klay Thompson. People don't realize that Michael Thompson and Klay Thompson, they're Bahamians, you know. Klay Thompson from the Golden State Warriors is a Bahamian. His father, Michael Sweetbelts Thompson, is a Bahamian. He played for the Los Angeles Lakers, and he was a first-round draft pick in 1979 for the Portland Trail Blazers. You know, that's Michael Sweetbelts Thompson. He's a world championship basketball player with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's won championships with them as well. Michael Sweetbelts Thompson. And Klay Thompson is his son. He's a Bahamian by birth of his father. He takes on his father's citizenship. So he's a Bahamian. All right. We had some other people on his team as well, some other notable collegiate players as well. We were supposed to get Buddy Hield back again, but Buddy Hield declined. And we were also supposed to get DeAndre Ayton. Okay, but he declined as well. So we have a good team nonetheless. They're a great team, man. Some of them play college ball. Some of them play in Europe. Some of them play in Brazil. Yeah, some other notable names. And we just wish them all the best, man. You know, we're going to have a good playoff against Argentina tonight. I hope we don't get blown up because Argentina is really good. Argentina is really good. So I'm praying for our boys to get past this test in Argentina. I'm praying for them. Really and truly I am. You know, so we'll see how they do. I'll keep you updated with that, probably on Caribbean Magazine Plus. I'll probably give you the update on the magazine for Friday to see exactly how we're going. Yeah. Otherwise than that, so I'm just glad to get this day over and out with, right? You know, like I said, I had a rough day. You know, I could have cried when I had to spend money on that tow truck. That's money I don't have. That's money I don't have. Anyway, God has provided. He's going to provide even more for it, right? So yeah, I'm just happy that I was able to get to the mechanic. I could get it sorted out. I've been having some bad luck with my car for the past 2 months now. My mother keeps telling me I should go and get it prayed for. Maybe I should. You know, maybe I should. But I think I've been stopped from doing something else or going somewhere where I was supposed to go or seeing something I wasn't supposed to see. But it's not going to stop me from working out in the morning though. My gym where I work out is about, I would say, about 2 miles away from where I live. So I can walk there. I normally jog in the morning anyways, right? So I'm probably going to walk there tomorrow, jog there tomorrow, and then walk back. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. That's going to be my morning. And then I'm going to try to see if I can find my way to get to my office and just, sit down and relax, enjoy myself the best way I could. I don't mind catching the bus, I'm a very humble man, I don't mind catching the bus. I don't mind doing it at all, actually. I'm very peaceful. I'm very humble. I'm one of the most humble men you'll ever meet. See me in the food store, I talk to you. I'll be in my my Crocs. And that's another thing. I don't know why people hate Crocs. Why do people hate Crocs? These things are comfortable, man. I got a pair of Crocs just as soon as they went. And I wondered, how was I living without having a pair of Crocs? These are comfortable, man. You can wear these anywhere. You go to the beach with these. You can wear these around the house. You can just go to the store with these. I take these everywhere I go. I'm in my Crocs, man. So yeah. It's soon time to get out of here, though. We're gonna get out of here in a minute, though. Like I said, if you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube, as well as there is a donate link inside the description that you can give anything that moves your heart. To give to the LimeVibe Live podcast, please do. We really would appreciate that. And otherwise than that, to tail us off with, I just want to wish everybody a happy middle of August. Just be happy and just be grateful to be alive. Just be happy that you have it by yourself right now and you're just living the best life. God has gotten you through COVID-19. 2023 is almost over, and it went just like that, didn't it? Next thing you know, we'll be celebrating Halloween and we'll be right into Christmas. I have a friend of mine who's already counting down her Christmas day. She's saying she's even counting the nights, how much sleeps are left until Christmas. And she's a grown woman, she should be ashamed of herself. She's so anticipating Christmas. But we're soon at the end of the year, And how has it been for you guys? I hope you guys have really gotten all of your things done. I have accomplished a lot of things this year as well. I had some setbacks, but I also had some victories as well. I was surprised I've actually gotten most of this weight off, man. This weight off of me. I've gotten most of it off. I'm really surprised at that, man. I'm down to 195 now. I came from 305 pounds, man. 305 pounds. You see my earlier pictures, you say, man, you are disgusting. You are disgusting. 305 pounds, Gary. When I came back from the United Kingdom, that was back in 2008. I was 208 pounds. I was wearing 35 waist pants. I was wearing 35, 36 waist pants. I was looking very svelte. In the space of about a year, I got to about 250, 260. And after that, I just let go. I started eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream every night and having a Keebler chocolate, double chunk chocolate chip cookies every night. And the weight just gained. I just kept on putting on the pounds. And it's just sugar, But I had a diet change as well as I've been working on every day. I stopped all that white sugar. I don't drink sodas anymore. I prefer juices. I cut out all the cakes and the cookies. I really stopped all of that. I got myself over the hump. I've really been beating it bad, And I've even joined Bahamas Roadmasters. They are a running group. I got to pay their bill, though. I got to pay the membership fee. I'm going to do that tomorrow, actually. I pay the membership, only $50 for the year. But it's just good to meet other people who have similar interests as well, because I'm a runner. I've gotten involved in running now. I want to better my times. I want to be with people who are actually going to help me get better. I'm going to run a marathon soon, actually. I had 2 chances to run marathons this year. One was the University of Bahamas UB Fit. Their 5K. I didn't run that one. I just was too busy. There was another one called the Roadmasters Night Marathon. That was on June 30th. I missed that one as well. All right, I just was busy that night as well too. I think my car had problems too. I couldn't get to the actual site. So yeah, but at this time, the next marathon comes up, I'm going to enter. I'm going to enroll in that one. I'm going to join that one for sure. I'm going to run the next one. I'm going to stay healthy. I want to live long and prosper, man. I'm looking so good. I'm going to the gym. I love the way the women are looking at me, man. I love the attention I'm getting. I love the attention I'm getting. I really am. And I see why everyone works so hard. And it didn't happen overnight, It happened inch by inch, just by you taking those steps. And a lot of people just don't have that courage and determination, man. You have to have that courage and determination to get it done. You have to get up in the morning. You don't care what people say, no matter what they say, no matter what fear they put in your heart, no matter what happens, get up and go get it done. Rain or shine, get up and get it done, man. Just start with a bit of walk. Let's start like walking first. Next thing you build to a nice trot, you join a gym, you start lifting a few weights, you mess around, you do this and you do that. And next thing you know, you're a full-fledged fitness guru and a fitness influencer. Yeah, man. Be healthy, man. So I realized our diet here in the Bahamas is not the best as well. We have rice and cakes for everything, man, and sodas. Our diet is very unhealthy. We like fried chicken as well, fried food. It's not healthy. We like potato salad and macaroni. We like the starches as well, and peas and rice. You really shouldn't have peas and rice when you're having potato salad and macaroni, baby. We have that. We have macaroni, potato salad, peas and rice, and a side of meat. And some people have two meats. They have two meats. So yeah, you gotta take care of your health, man. Take care of yourself. So it's 9:27. Let's get out of here, man. I just want to thank you guys again for joining the LimeVibe Live podcast. And please be safe and take care of yourself. And subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. And there's link inside the description as well. So I just want to thank you once again. So yeah, Kim wasn't with us tonight. She has some things she has to deal with. That's fine. We wish her all the best. She'll be back on Friday. So we look out for her as well. So thank you guys for joining me in the LimeVibe Live podcast. I'll see you on Friday night again. Goodbye.